live.
Awesome. Well, welcome everybody. No order, no roll call, but
Let's do introductions for John for sure.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Tell him maybe
Well,
how long you've
yeah.
been around. And
Oh, yeah.
And
that's
Stacy,
good.
I've been here forever. I think 16 years on the Arts Commission.
Wow.
yeah.
And I've held every position, assistant, chair, chairperson, everyday runaround person.
awesome.
What drove you to want to be on?
My grandmother was a docent at the Seattle Museum when it was in the Space Needle. It was the World's Fair. She was and once the World Fair was over, they had a museum there, and she was a docent. And when we would go to visit every summer, it was we had to pick something that was artistic to do. We also had to read a novel of some sort. But anyway, so from her, I got the love of doing art, promoting art. And when I found out about the Arts Commission, I started out as just a volunteer, providing food bits for the Seasons Fair, which we no longer host. And from there, it just worked into being part of it.
Great. And you enjoy it, obviously.
Oh, yes, very much so.
That's wonderful.
Hi, I'm Katie. I am currently the chairperson for the Arts Commission. I've only been on the Arts Commission for about a year now.
Doing a
but-
great job.
Thank you. I have a theater arts degree from EOU, but I wanted to just help do any sort of arts promotion here in the Valley, whether that's here in town or outside of town. Just anything that can help get art into people's hands and people's everyday lives. That was kind of the goal, was to help push that along.
Do you have a particular genre of art that you tend towards?
I mean, performance.
Okay.
Is really what I would love to see more of a ability to. We already have a really amazing tourist location as far as we are right along the corridor. We're a great stop for people who are halfway. I think if we had something that was able to draw people to want to stay the night here, want to make this their pit stop. Oh, they have a great, even if it's not theater, if it's music, if it's performance art in any way, or we have great galleries, we have things to do that aren't just restaurants, that's not just outside stuff, which we already have like the market on. Yeah. I think that making that sort of art scene where people can really schedule this as their pit stop would be amazing for the Valley.
Yeah. I always refer to it as gas and go.
Yeah.
We're just a gas and go place, and we want more than that. We want you to we want you to come and gas up, of course, but stay the night.
Yeah.
Maybe stay a day or two. Check us out. Galleries, performance art, music, visual arts. Check out our murals.
Stuff like
There's a lot to see now, and we want to make it more.
Have you guys thought about partnering with Liberty at all? Liberty Theater?
The tough part is that they still are on a hiatus as far as getting open.
Well, but I mean, helping them to get to be open.
I just don't know what we would be able to do right now for them because all of their
Like it's
funding.
they need a lot of help.
Yeah.
The
all of their
answer
funding
is
got
they've
pulled.
never approached or we've never thought about that.
If it's alright with you guys, I'll
Yeah.
send them your way.
I mean, I can talk to Ashley. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be I guarantee you they could probably use some help.
Yeah. And that's one of those things where Arts Commission used to run the Seasons Fair, which helped fund a lot of stuff for the year, funded Arts for All, it funded things all over the Valley, scholarships and stuff. But even if it's not, I know that it is not the Arts Commission's place to put on stuff like that, but there are plenty of people on this, in this body of people that are good at those things that we could help the city put something like that on if they were interested
Yeah.
in helping do that. Because it's something like Liberty being open and having things in there every single night of the week
Yeah.
is not a detriment to the valley.
No.
Oh, yeah.
It is a boon,
Yeah.
absolutely. And so, but every time I've chatted with Ashley in the past, we've been a little stonewalled as far as like, because it was always, and this is not like as Arts Commission, like I
Just you as
chat
a
with
person.
Ashley, about, and it was always that all of their funding was federal stuff, and so it was always, I think, guaranteed in their brain.
Oh.
And so I don't know that it was a whole lot of looking for the next funding of any
We
sort.
got good business.
They kind of got like,
So it never came up.
Yeah, well, I can say we just issued them, or we're in the process of issuing them an extension right now.
Okay.
It's gonna give them more time to be able to get up and running. And so my guess is that one of the challenges it appears that they're having is the ability to get after other people's money. And so some of the help that might be able to come is helping to research and find places that we can go and apply and what apply would look like, where they could get, like I feel like if we were asking enough places, if they were willing to donate or whatever the case may be, that's where some of the help could
A
probably.
lot of that has been done several times over.
I can say that when I spoke to him, I made a couple of recommendations. He was like, "Oh, I hadn't thought about that."
Okay, yeah.
So I think as long as this effort's been going on, even some of the things that may have been tried before,
Yeah.
it may be time to try again.
Yeah.
And so I could just see that where I think that from what I've gathered from talking to them anyway, is that bandwidth. Like not like there's one or two people that are actively trying to keep this moving along.
Yes.
And so
That's-
getting more people to
yeah.
help do some of the, it might even be perceived as menial, but that all of the menial tasks that could be worked on together, enough people are doing it, we could gain some energy and something happen with it.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it come to fruition, and I think it will. It's just
Yeah.
painful and it's taking a long time.
Yeah.
But also a lot of what we've run into in the past since we changed and we went in line with being a commission under the city, is that we're not included in a budget, so to speak.
We don't do fundraising.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so we have very limited funds, if any, most of the time.
I think to John's point though, maybe connecting them or supporting them or writing letters of support or
Well,
those
hadn't
kinds
you,
of activities.
yeah,
are
hadn't you
great.
said that somebody had given you a big, long list of contacts for grants?
Sure, we have that.
Yeah, is that something that
Just
we
don't-
could
we just-
forward to them or help them assist them in writing, and that we,
That's
we
the kind of
stand
help
behind
can
them,
do.
we
Sure.
promote them?
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's totally appropriate for the commission.
Yeah,
You know, it's
And
not
that is
necessarily
something we
writing
could
them a
do.
check,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah,
helping
it's-
them elevate them to that
It's
level.
support.
exactly,
It's-
And
exactly.
Whatever you guys do, don't take it like I'm trying to task
No,
you with
no,
anything.
you're good.
I'm just giving you ideas.
Well, no, because one of our strategic plan items is building an outdoor performance venue. So if we get the ball rolling for an indoor performance venue, I think that would help us in the long run with an outdoor area,
Yeah.
which I still think should be the old Del Monte plant place. But that's just my opinion.
Don't even know that.
It's at the
It's that plant that's on that funky corner on Spruce
Across from the
before the
dentist and
railroad
everything.
tracks by the Island City is here, Island City Strip is here, and that funky railroad tracks that cross and you turn it's that plant that's right
Yeah.
there.
Interesting.
So to commend you, already introduced myself, but I'm Amy. I was raised here. I moved away for a while, but from the time I was young, I was in arts. My parents just really immersed my sister and I both in the arts. And when I moved back, I finished my degree at Eastern, and it's technically a media art degree. It's digital design, it's graphic arts. So I'm an art minor. I love everything with art, I kind of move from one thing to another. There's several things that I really, really like, but mostly visual arts, painting and fabric media, and
That's cool.
Do you work at Barretto still?
I do. I work at Bredham. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's-
I'm the
if you-
marketing coordinator for
If you
Bredham.
haven't heard, it's a manufacturing, it's out in the county
Okay.
towards Union, but they do industrial.
We make landscape equipment, rototillers, trenchers, stump grinders. We have mini skid steer for the rental market, so it's kind of drive it like you stole that type of equipment.
Yeah.
It's not gonna, you're not gonna hurt it. We sell internationally, and it was founded, well, it was started in Lebanon, but it was basically founded here, and it's been here since 1984.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about parlaying your skills into the public affairs arena?
Um,
And would you be interested in it?
Maybe. It would depend. I don't like people very much. And that's awful. I don't want to say it. And that sounds awful saying it that way. I like people, but yeah.
But you're always doing all of the shows and
Large,
stuff,
yeah.
you know, in New Orleans and Las Vegas and.
Yes, but so last week, this is a good example. I was at a conference all last week in San Francisco, and I came home and went straight to nerd camp, and then I have work all this week. Saturday I'm going to hibernate for an entire weekend but for our trade shows it's the same thing. I'm on for 8 days straight with thousands of people, and then I come home and spend 4 days with them. Yeah, I do like people.
Can
It's just-
relate to that feeling to a degree.
Yeah.
You,
I
you
just-
decompress from the populace.
I need to refill my meter with some alone
She
time.
does some amazing art with her sewing,
Fiber arts.
fiber arts. Oh, it's
That's
amazing stuff. Absolutely amazing.
Thanks.
I hope to see it sometime.
Yeah.
This is our new city manager, John
Yeah,
O'Brien.
I figured that out.
So Corey, you want to
I think we've met, haven't
a
we?
little brief thing?
Maybe? I
You
don't
look
know.
awfully familiar to me.
I'm around. I walk by City Hall a lot.
That could be why.
I'm Corey Peak. I'm a professor at EOU, an art professor, and I'm the gallery director at EOU.
Wonderful. That's cool that you participate with us. I can see why that probably inspired you to be a part of this group.
Yeah, I've been part of the on and off a little bit, but I've been here for a very long time.
I think about as long as I had, about 16 years.
Oh, longer than that.
Yeah, longer than that.
I think I was a kid when you started here. I was like high
I've been
school.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe because I was thrown into Seasons Fair as soon as I got here, and I figured after doing 2 years, so it must be like 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You want to give a little brief bio background? Where you?
If you guys don't think it'd be too boring for you,
No.
I'll
No.
share.
Go for it.
All right, yeah, so John O'Brien, new city manager for the Grand. Been in the seat, this is the 4th week. The desire and intent is for me to get out to as many of these committees and commissions as I can, at least for an introduction, and then when possible, try and intermittently come out and join as well. I have discovered that my bandwidth is filled up pretty fast, and I suspect it's going to stay that way to a degree, but I do want to, I'm one of those, I guess you say, leaders that believes that where you spend your time demonstrates what's most important to you. And so interacting with the people of our community in the different ways that we're trying to bring value to our community is where I hope to spend a significant chunk of my time. But that's of course going to lead to, you know, all the time that I'm not in the office doing the administrative part of my job, then I'll have to make up for that somewhere. But I fully intend on doing it. As far as me and my background, and see, I was born in Anchorage, Alaska, grew up in Ketchikan, Alaska. When I was 20 years old, I joined the military. Was in the Army for 6 years. That took me to Colorado. At the time I met, while I was in the military, I met a local national woman that I fell in love with, and we got married and spent a little over 20 years together before, unfortunately. Part of the story is when we went to, got out of the military in Colorado, I went into law enforcement there. Spent about 10 years in law enforcement there, and my wife reached a point where she needed to go back to Europe, back to Germany, and so I was lucky enough to find a job in Army Installation Management Command, which is, the Army can't say things the way the rest of the world says things. It always has to make a new name for it. So where you might call it happy, they're going to call it glad. And so instead of calling it city management, they call it installation management. And at the time I got into installation management, realized it was funny, my time in law enforcement, I had worked for the Colorado Springs Police Department. When I first started, the police chief retired and went on to become a city manager. And that was the first time that I ever thought, well, what do I want for life after? I wanted to work my way up in law enforcement, become a police chief, and then what am I going to do when I get bored with that? And so that was the first time that I thought I might want to be a city manager at some point. Weird that you fast forward and I cut the chain short and I go and get into installation management. I didn't even know that's what I was, as far as it being like city management. But then, of course, figured it out, worked my way up in that system. At some point in time, I had the opportunity, I knew some people through positive interactions in installation management that had switched over into Army Corps of Engineers. I'd kind of reached the pinnacle of where I could be in installation management. And when they asked me to come out and consider being the chief of staff at the Army Corps of Engineers in Walla Walla, for a newly established position, I was like, sure, why not? By that point in time, when I went over back to Germany, when I had to come back stateside, my wife, she's like, no, I'm staying. And I don't blame her. I've been pretty close to being a workaholic most of my life, so I don't blame her for her perception. Anyway, get back on task. That being said, when I got to Walla Walla, I met my now wife, who was a original graduate, or not graduate, but went to school here at EOU back when before it was EOU.
USC.
USC, yeah.
Northern State College, yeah.
Went to school there, and then with the Trump administration coming in, I'll save opinions and thoughts in regards to that. But one of the things that he did was he created the opportunity for someone with myself, like with 22, almost 23 years of federal service, both combined with military and civilian time. It made it possible for me to be able to have an early retirement. Wasn't enough to be able to live off of, but it opened a door for me to start looking at what's in the world of possible. And once my wife gave me the green light to look, I started looking, and the very first job that popped up in my search, I wanted to go back to what I loved, which was was city management stuff. When I first started looking, LeGrand was the first one to pop up on the radar, and the fact that she went here and most of her family is living here in the area, it just made complete sense for me to at least put my name in the hat. I'll be honest with you, I didn't think I was going to get the job. I have not ever in my life ever had the first job I ever put in for be the one that I get. I've usually had to work at it, and so I feel very fortunate and blessed that, don't get me wrong, I ended up doing a lot of interviews after that has probably made me a better guy once I've shown up in the door. But that's, I guess, the short version of my story as to what brought me here. But I do have, between my wife and I, we have 5 kids. I have 2 adult children, one that lives in Germany and one that lives in Colorado, and then 3 others that live in the Walla Walla area. But all of them are 22 plus. So I'm unfortunately, being that workaholic that I referred to earlier, I probably missed a lot of things that I now wish I hadn't. But
Grandbabies are coming up. You'll make up for it.
Yeah, there you go. But I feel like even with me having to work the way I do, I have an incredible relationship with my kids, and they've given me a lot of grace. And I'm excited the fact that I can have a good relationship with them, and I'm hoping to maybe at some point get them all to come here. But that's John's wish. I realize that's not necessarily a likely scenario. All right, sorry. So I'll stop talking.
Oh, you're
You're good. I'm certainly like to be open and transparent and a open book. Like as far as I'm concerned, no question is off limits. If you're curious and want to know about me, and if you haven't figured it out, I like to talk about me. So. All right.
Happy to have you.
Thank you.
So, Madam Chair, now you could
Call the meeting to order.
Sure, if you want to do the business, we
Yeah.
can do the agenda minutes from Jess.
Perfect. Meeting to order, wow, I can't talk today. Have you taken down roll call? In your notes?
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, in that case, do we want to approve the agenda
Motion to
for
approve it.
today? Perfect.
Second.
Lovely.
No, you're all in
And then-
favor, signify by saying aye. There you go.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Sorry.
You're okay.
Are we good with the minutes from May? Does anything look amiss?
It was a while ago.
Under
Yeah.
old business, item B should actually be indented several times so that it's under the strategic plan update instead of its own item.
Thank you. I'll fix it. So now we'll have a motion as amended when anybody's,
Mm-hmm.
Second.
sorry, who made the motion?
No,
I
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
everything else look
Otherwise,
okay
we'll
though?
be here.
Yeah, everything
Okay.
else looks good.
Alright, sounds good.
We did the intro with John. So on to old business. Has everybody had a chance to review the strategic master plan?
That goes to.
So this is
Not since we met with the city.
Okay. Okay.
I thought we'd do a little, whoever was there,
Mhm.
and especially since John wasn't there either.
Yeah.
Just kind of review council's direction or questions or recommendations or where we go from here. We don't really have to discuss the document at all,
Yeah.
other than a brief.
Yeah.
But it would be helpful, I think, to folks, if you can remember that far back.
I was gonna say, that's,
It was a
that's
hot
3 months
minute.
ago.
It was a hot minute ago.
Uh, I think the overall reaction to it was really good.
Nice.
They really, oh, you weren't there, were you? Michaela was
Nope,
there.
I couldn't be there.
But yeah, they
They reacted really positively to
Yeah.
it. They thought that our plan going forward was good. They actually threw out some additional ideas for things that we could do, you know. But there was quite a long conversation about, similar to what you were talking about earlier, Katie, that we're a perfect stopping point on the freeway for bands and other performers who are going from Boise to Portland or Boise to
Mhm.
Spokane. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to get those larger groups like that to stop here and have a concert
Yeah.
of some sort. And
Yeah.
you know, one of the things I talked about was that when I was younger, I'm gonna say it wrong. Is it Palmer that was addicted to love? Robert Palmer was that?
yes.
Okay, Robert Palmer was here. The Bengals were here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they stopped. They played in the old UU gym.
Cool.
We all got to go to the concerts. So I don't know why that couldn't happen again. You know, even if it's, you know, some of the smaller folk art or indie groups that travel around all the time, they're always stopping at smaller cities. So that was something that was talked about quite a bit. But
Also, they talked about value, if there were, Councilor Glade talked about, could you work on assigning a value to some of the maybe public art or other sorts of art? Do you remember that? Were you there, Abby?
Mhm.
I remember him saying it, but I don't remember exactly
Yeah.
the conversation.
He just said that he would encourage you all to explore those moving forward, maybe doing some research on, you know, the actual dollar value, the tourist value dollar based on some of the things you're talking about.
Like how much it would bring in.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now I
just
remember. Yeah.
because if you're gonna have a conversation about future funding or other opportunities within the city or the transient room tax or whatever, then I think his encouragement was come with the data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come with the data that
Yeah.
if we do this, this is what we could possibly bring in. I remember now, yeah.
This is what it could possibly cost. This is, you know, like with the venue idea, it was.
He was wanting more about.
He was wanting a lot more. He liked the idea, but he was wanting a lot more. Like, have you done a survey of possible areas, what it would cost, what would be required, and then also what it would bring in annually as far as income.
Yeah, so for those at home and in the room, so that's kind of the first goal here. We'll just maybe, if you want to go through them,
Yeah.
Katie, do you wanna just kind of, just briefly do the headlines maybe?
Sure.
Just so everybody has that back in their mind for the fall.
Yeah.
I'll scroll while you do your thing.
I love it. You want me to just read them out loud?
Well, do whatever you want.
Sure. So these goals are not in any sort of like order as far as which ones we are tackling first. This is just how they landed in the sheet. Goal 1, build outdoor performance venue, create a local space where organizations can present their performance art for LeGrand audiences. This was one of the ones that we thought would benefit the tourism in the city the most. Goal number 2, encourage building owners to contract with artists to paint and maintain murals on their building walls. This one is a bit of a continuation of something we already currently have happening in LeGrand, which is a lot of murals in the area, but trying to make that more of a point, make it look more of like an artist's getaway downtown kind of a situation. Goal 3, establish more dedicated spaces for public art. We have made some headway with this, but this is very specifically finding places in the LeGrand area that are lacking. We've done a great job with downtown, but finding spaces where we can dedicate for visual art that is off of downtown. Goal 4, support out of the box projects and groups. The inspiration for this was actually the Safe Routes to School coalition. Is that what? They want to do a artist's walk kind of a thing on the routes to school, and so things like that. So on there we have, farmers market, crazy days, country fair, county fair, and encouraging art in those spaces at those events, or permanent art such as the Safe Routes to School art walks that we would be working with them on. Goal number 5, promote arts focused festivals or events downtown. Again, this is kind of going along with the activity 1 in goal 4, but expounding upon it with Main Street downtown and working with other places like Liberty, like EOU, and promoting things like the Art Center East's events that they do, or the Shakespeare Fest, or the poetry week that the EOU master's program does, stuff like that, creating events downtown. And then goal 6, support and develop spaces for art displays or art viewing. Specifically, we were looking at trying to work with local business owners for downtown to try to get things into stores, shops, or even offices downtown, that when people are going in, if they see something they like, they could possibly purchase it, to help local artists who are looking for places to display and sell their work. So, yeah.
The rest is just sort of background information.
Yeah.
So it's great. Thank you, Katie.
Yeah.
So I think there's a couple of next steps here that could, the research component based on Councilor Glabe's recommendations and encouragement could be a homework assignment y'all chose to work on over the winter.
Yeah.
Another next step could be final adoption by city council, because it's still preliminary. We just held a work session. So final adoption, as I understand it, would be taking it to council as an agenda item with a packet, with a council action form that talked about the background and sort of just finalize this as the plan. I don't think it's required or necessary necessarily. If you want that, it's great. We can make that happen, John and I. So that's kind of what I wanted to ask y'all tonight. What those next steps would be and how you'd like to proceed. And because we talked a lot about who's going to do what and when, and that's all kind of, we've had that conversation. So now, would you like city council to officially adopt it? Would you like to do some homework first and provide them some more information first? Or how would you like to, or would you just like to go as is and go forth and do good things?
I feel like the specifically what Glabe's asking about is details that are going to be worked on once we start a goal. So the idea with this is not necessarily here is every single detail for every single goal for the next 10 years. It is these are the 6 things we're planning on attacking the next 6 years. Is this look like something, you know, that you guys are okay with? I would prefer to leave all of these specific details because like goal number 1, I know he's asking for, you know, data on tourism dollars, but we're not even looking at goal number 1 right now. Right now, with the one that we were actually going to look at first was goal 6, which is hilarious to me that it's at the bottom. But because it is the easiest one to make connections with and, you know, kind of start the groundwork for working, you know, back up all of those.
Well, in doing all that research and investing the time in something that is probably several years down the road does not make sense right now.
Correct, because it's going to
doesn't make sense
change.
until you're closer, because it is going to change. And
Yeah. So what I would prefer is to just, we're presenting them a skeleton of the things we're going to look at and try to accomplish. And we are happy to do the research and all of those
But when the
details
time
When the
comes,
project-
when
when
we're
the
starting on
projects
those
are coming.
projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we're not
maybe-
going to leave that to nothing.
why don't we
so,
just
so maybe
have
we're at a
a
point
go
where we
as,
have
as
them
we are?
approve it,
Yeah.
make it an approved plan, and then we can go forward
Yeah.
with whatever piece we're
That
going
is
to
what
try to
that is
implement.
what I would
Yeah.
suggest.
Sorry, Amy, say it again?
Make it an approved, have them, present it to them so that it can be an approved plan, so that then we can proceed with whatever we decide to do first,
Sure.
and going into further research on that.
Great. Do you have consensus on that?
I think we should just go as we've been going, and then as something comes up, then we present it to them individually, and just leave it as our plan.
Okay,
But that's just my opinion.
so you don't have consensus. So you wanna talk about it some more, or anybody else have any
Oh, okay.
ideas,
Um,
comments?
I will go with the majority.
well, that's so. As of right now, does anybody want to go through and flesh this out more before we present it to them?
I think it is very well fleshed out.
No, I don't think we need
Okay.
to flesh anymore.
Then
Okay.
I think it's at a point where it can be approved.
Then I think we just present it as a plan, as the
Okay.
as our.
I'll go with that.
I think the good news is that it's, you know, they have a final chance to make any other comments, so y'all can show up and present that along with me if you like, and explain, yes, as we move down this plan, across it, up and down it, it's not gonna be in
Yeah.
order, but as we prioritize, we'll have our specific activities as we move forward. Okay. So I'll just note that as consensus, and then, another opportunity is between, you know, if John's not normally gonna be here, so I would say, I would talk to the city manager and ask him to talk to council about maybe some behind the scenes conversations about, okay, is there anything specific you'd like to know from the art commission before we present this to you? So we make it a smooth transition, just to double check. I don't think that I think it's fine, like you said, to present, but John might have a way to kind of behind the scenes ask questions
Mhm.
that will make it, that we can just prevent any kind of, you know,
Yeah.
hiccup.
Do we have any
So you're-
verbiage? Oh, sorry.
You're also okay to, like, there's nothing wrong with you having individual conversations with the council members to get their
Yeah.
ideas of things. You're always okay to do
Yeah.
that. As a body, they can't issue any guidance to you unless they're in quorum.
Yeah.
So up to you, but just know that if you decide to go that route, you're just getting an individual's opinion, not necessarily the quorum's
Mhm.
unified guidance.
I did not get the sense it was gonna be highly controversial to approve it,
I
so.
don't think so.
Yeah.
No, it won't be.
Do we have verbiage in it currently that just says it's kind of a living document? Like,
I don't know. I'll have to
okay.
but we can definitely take a peek at it. But
Because
I think there's some introduction about these aren't necessarily any specific order.
yeah, okay. I just mostly if that wasn't already included in it, then I guess we could put something in. I feel like we had very specifically put stuff in the beginning saying that
Yeah,
we plan on adding to it, not necessarily changing anything, but adding more details as we go. And
sure.
okay,
I'll double check that and let you guys know since I closed it sadly.
no, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do we want to move on to signal box wrap
Yes.
design approval?
Yes, I just have an update. We had the budget snafu in the spring, so that those wraps are ordered. They'll be done by the next 30 to 40 days, I'm gonna say. So we've got they've got all the designs. The sign company has all the.
Yeah, we've done
mock-ups
we've done
and ready to
everything, we
go.
just need it paid for and put up.
So that's what's happening. They're
Yay.
gonna do one at a time. I'll let you guys know when they're in town doing that. And
That would be awesome.
there was some, hey, we need better logos and type conversations this fall, but otherwise, we're rolling.
Okay.
So it's exciting. That'll be checked off your list.
Cute.
Yay.
I'd be excited to see them.
Yeah.
Do we have anything planned as far as like when they are all done? Doing any sort of announcement or anything?
I know. It's up to you guys.
Do we want to do something like that when all of them are done doing some
Yes.
sort of okay? That's I assumed as much.
Yes.
Do we know what the order that they're getting done is?
No.
Okay.
So then Stu's gonna need to keep us apprised of when the last one's going to be put in.
Yeah.
So
You
that
just-
we can then do whatever we decide to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just told me that they're gonna do one at a time based on the sort of the printing, I don't know, the installation time and
Will-
traveling and whatnot. And she was gonna kind of mix it in with when they're in La Grande already.
And will they let you know when they're doing each one?
Yeah.
Because I can make sure I get down there and get pictures of them installing them.
Yes.
And then if we make some sort of write-up to go with them,
Yes.
that would work.
Okay. Yeah, I can reach out to. It's not Lisa anymore at the Go, but if we want to,
Let's see, what is that?
it was Lisa Britton, but
I also know the
she's not going to be right
the
anymore.
digital content manager for the company that owns the Observer, the East Oregon
You
company.
do that
So
then.
I will contact her.
Yeah.
And she can.
That.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And her photography is fabulous.
We're not going to be hurting for that.
Cool.
You're doing PR even though you're not PR.
Yeah, marketing is kind of PR.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that way we can at least get some, I don't know, announcement out to the public. That would be
Yeah,
nice.
some recognition.
Well, I mean, that's
We could probably do a ribbon cutting with the chamber if you like at the last one.
Sure.
We
I
could
think
put a
that's a
blanket
great
over
idea.
it.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever. You guys, it's up to you. Just
Yeah,
my
Great
crazy
to have
ideas.
the
But
kids out there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, especially
Like
yeah.
the
If we can
kids.
figure out which one is the last one, and then we can have whatever those kids are out there, and then or anybody else who participated in the art would be great to get that out to the teachers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be the coolest part, is
Yeah.
having the kids out there.
I agree.
Cool.
Get the
Okay.
kids out there, get city out there.
Yeah.
But we will probably have our next meeting before the last one goes up. Yeah, it was,
let's go with probably.
yeah. Okay, so new business, summer concert recap.
And I apologize, Chris didn't get that to me in time, so
Rude.
we'll postpone that for next time.
Tell Chris that he's in trouble.
I will.
Perfect.
It's more my fault than his. I didn't remind him, so it's been a little chaotic over there. The pool's shut down for maintenance, so there's
Again.
massive jackhammers and noise, and so anyway.
Always.
Sounds like, oh no, I'm supposed to be quiet.
Well, staff reports, Mr. Director.
I can't think of anything. Just
No?
other than what we've already talked about. It's been a really busy summer. You know, we installed the
Yeah.
Riverside Playground.
Saw
And
that.
that was
That was
huge
adorable.
victory. Yep, huge victory. Great public art, if you ask me.
Mhm.
The Little
Oh,
League
it
tournament.
looks
we
really
broke-
cool.
What's that?
It looks really
It
cool.
does
look
look
really
really
cool.
cool.
Yeah. You just see it from the dog park. Katie's the mayor of the dog park.
Shut up.
And then we hosted a 40-14 Little League tournament in June, which was, there's probably 4,000 people through this park
Yeah.
in a month, in 10 days. It was,
It was, I was gonna say, it wasn't even a month, it was a
Yeah, it
short
was
amount of
insane.
time.
so our summer was
Packed.
crazy. And
I-
it was busy, so.
I did happen to run into a family I know from Hefner. Side vent. Emma's, my oldest daughter's grandma, babysat the grandma, who babysat Emma's dad, who
Oh,
babysat
dear.
her kids, who babysat Emma, who babysat their kids. As long as, yeah, it's crazy. It's Hetner.
Generation
Anyway,
babysitting.
they're from Hetner, and I just ran into them at Cinco one night, and they just thought that the tournament was really well run and everything was handled well, and they had a great time. And yeah, I mean, I only talked to one family, but it seemed to be the consensus.
Well, the Little League organization did all that. We just made sure the grass was green and the sprinklers didn't go on in the middle of the game. So it's good.
Perfect.
And the bathrooms were tidy, but they did a lot of that work on their own. They really
Yeah.
stepped up. It was a great tournament.
Good.
Major event. So anyway, not necessarily art commission related, but
No, but it's LeGrand related, which is
just
the
absolute
same.
madness
Yeah.
for the month of May and June and part of July.
You're good. Well,
The county fair went great.
yeah,
We actually ended up with candy left over.
cute.
And Walmart had donated $75 worth, and I didn't hit the $75. We had money left over.
Was the
And
fair busier this year or less?
it seemed less to
Okay.
me.
Okay. Me too. But everybody keeps saying it's busy.
I think most people were going towards the water features than
That's what it was. And water.
than the
bouncy
touring
castle.
around the buildings and such. And Karen M helped out 3 of the days, which was a huge help. And the people that we did interact with, they were, very pleased, excited about the stuff we had accomplished so far. I was given a budget from the group here of $150, and I just hit 150 between supplies, and so I kept the budget.
Love
And
that.
everything that we needed was brought to us. Everything when we were finished was packed up and it got stored back, and it was one of the easiest fairs to put together and take down. But we didn't win a ribbon this year.
Rude.
Normally we win a ribbon of some sort. We didn't win one
They're
this
right
year.
behind you on the wall,
Yeah,
Yep,
totally rude. Absolutely rude.
we tried, but we didn't win.
I just skipped the commissioner comments with that one, Katie.
Yeah.
I just kind of loaded
it's
it. So the information is just a reminder. You've got to email me your time cards,
Yeah.
and I can turn them into finance department for the records.
Okay.
Especially you that do much fair work.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah. Me and Karen M.
Yeah.
She did a lot too. She sat down and did our stars on our blue background on our fabric on the walls.
Cool.
She did all that. And
Good.
that took her a couple of days.
Great. I'll email them out again if you guys need me help.
Yep.
I can do that.
She did bring an idea to me about doing mural work, but on pavement at school crossings. Like in the 4, how you got the 4 to do it in the middle. And I told her to research more and bring it to us. That's where we're at mural wise.
Yeah, I was
Talk
gonna say
to-
that might go along with the safe routes.
Exactly.
goal.
That's what I was
You
thinking.
probably-
And
it
also,
would probably wear better in the crosswalks rather than in the center where it's going to be driven over constantly.
yeah,
Also, the parking traffic safety folks, commission would be involved, and
right.
obviously just
But-
street standards are a whole different thing that you
Yeah.
might not.
Like I said, it was like, this looks awesome. Do some more research on it. Bring it to the group. And also, I did talk to a couple of businesses on the other side of 82, which is kind of, we've got all this interest in the downtown area for murals and such. So I've started talking to businesses on the other side that are feeling very left out and forgotten. And they're like, we could do murals on our buildings. I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we can help support that. And they're like, that support like that, how? I said, well, we can suggest artists, we can come help paint. They're like, okay, we're gonna start looking into that. So,
Perfect.
and the
We said to be
school,
careful because the city has sign codes and other things. We said to make sure not telling people that they can do anything. So yeah, definitely check with City Hall. But yes,
well, yeah, I mean, it was just the generalized conversation.
Sure,
And then,
of course.
the LeGrand School District already has their main warehouse where they've got
yeah,
the
the windows.
windows are done with the mascots for each school. So I count that as a win for art.
I love that.
Safeway is looking into doing something similar to what Walmart did with Jeremy, with the art on the wall. So they're in talks, as I was informed by both Safeway and Jeremy. So
I have no idea what's on the wall at Walmart.
There's a big,
Jeremy did a big mural
yeah.
in the entry.
he did one that was like
Inside.
on plastic that was sealed to the wall,
It's inside.
and then there's one on the outside on that big barrier there on the grocery side that he painted.
On the concrete wall facing in, so as you're walking out, you see it.
Apparently I need to go to Walmart. I don't think I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the left and it's both on the grocery side. I haven't done it on the
It's
home
Jeremy
goods
too.
side. Jeremy Clark,
Jeremy Clark. Thank you.
local artist, former
It used to be on
art
this,
commissioner.
I probably would know him if I saw his face.
Probably.
I just can't connect a name. Yeah.
Okay, any other commissioner comments?
I will be MIA until January because I teach a class
Mhm.
on Wednesdays this time.
Site 101.
No, I don't do that anymore. Thank God.
I had to write a paper for you, and I'm pretty sure it was Ai Weiwei. It might have been.
Well,
I have pulled that paper out to reference so many times.
oh,
Somebody mentioned it. There was an exhibit in. He had an exhibit in Missoula, and I missed it by days. But yeah, yeah. Glad I hung on to all those.
Yeah.
Well, anything comes up, email Stu and he can just read it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Do you have the schedule for the gallery for the year?
Yeah, not on me.
No,
but
but
yes.
would you email it to us?
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
I'd like to see it. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
we've been trying.
Yeah, the first show opens October 3rd.
Thanks.
Elizabeth Arzani. Well, that's how I've been pronouncing her name. Honestly, I don't know if it's Arzani or not. I'll have to find out next Saturday. I need her.
Anything else, Mary? You good?
The next meeting date should be on your agenda,
Yeah,
right?
October 15th
Okay, there's a city council meeting on
on the
the
8th. Yeah.
yeah.